Jesus says, love your enemy. All of us would admit that we have trouble doing that. I think we all do, and I know I do. What's interesting about it is it's even harder than you realize. When he's talking about loving your enemy, the enemy isn't the person who jumps ahead of you at Garrity's in the express lane and has 15 presents or items instead of 5. They mean somebody who has consistently, intentionally, and deeply hurt you. And that's an enemy. Think Arab and Jew. That's the enemy. Somebody who really, not just somebody who jumps in front of you on 81 and there's an obscene gesture or something. No. They mean deep. They mean deep. And I know no one who finds it easy to love that person. I'm not sure if there is anybody who finds it easy to love that person, who really is your enemy, who has hurt you, and wanted to hurt you, and continues to hurt you, and will continue to hurt you. But there are some things that help us learn how to do it, or at least why we should do it. There's a difference between justice and revenge. Like, justice is important. We have to have a just society, or we don't have a society. Somebody steals $10 from me, I want my $10 back, and I should want my $10 back. That's my $10. I work hard for my money. I want my money back. They steal my car, I really want my car back. That's justice. That's okay. We live in a just society, we hope, most of the time. But what happens is justice tends to become vengeance. Like, he stole 10, and just for the trouble, I'm going to go and take 20 from him. That's what happens. Because revenge has an appetite that's hard to satisfy. And so I steal 20 from him, he steals 30 from me to get back at me. And it spirals out of control. And you become less than you are. And what ends up happening is somebody against whom maybe you have a grudge, it ends up with violence. That's why you should try to love your enemy. Don't get involved in revenge. But justice has a way of getting out of control. The second point you have to learn is there's a difference between the wrong person and an evil person. And I deal with this a lot, sad to say, because I deal with married couples all the time. Some people marry the wrong person. They just marry the wrong person. The idea would be to find out they're the wrong person before you marry them, but that doesn't happen a lot of times. And that person becomes your enemy. They're not really your enemy. You just married the wrong person, and they probably married you, and you were the wrong person for them. For somebody else, they will be the right person, probably. But you marry them, and it's just not good. It's just not good. They're not evil. They're just wrong for you. Those are the distinctions you have to make to understand that gospel. Once I realize they're not the worst person, maybe they were for me, then you can begin to love them. And finally, I think if you listen to the gospel closely, there are bad people. There are. Most of us are pretty old now. Some of us remember Hitler. I don't. The oldest people in the building might. My father fought in the Battle of the Bulge. But if you said to a Jewish survivor of a concentration camp, and there are some of them still around, there's some of us here, could you say you love Hitler? Even today, 60, 70 years later, they would say no. They can't. They just can't. He exterminated the rest of my family. That's more than I can do. That's a real enemy. Osama bin Laden, he's a bad dude. Or a sick one, or both. Maybe both. That's hard. That's why you pray for them. Maybe you can't love them, but you can at least, maybe there is no one else to pray for them. They probably don't even pray for themselves. But we can all do that. Jesus on the cross said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. No, he's Jesus. I'm not, you're not. But we can begin to love the enemy. When you dig a hole for the person who hates you, you end up digging a hole for yourself too. And you become less than you are. And that's not being holy. And it's not being like Jesus. Let us stand, my friends, and we'll profess our faith.